What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the SSJ Cast. We're going to go ahead and get started for today. But first...
It's time for the moment you've been...
And welcome back to the show, everybody. So as you can see, we do have an announcement. We are dropping our first piece of merch. If you want to rep the SSJ Cast out in the world around you, let your friends and family know, then go ahead. Feel free to do that. Grab the shirt, head on over to Redbubble. And this is just the beginning.
Do you have a command for it on?
Yes, I believe it's !merch. Wait, is the bot running? Actually, that's the real question. Is the bot running? I might have broken everything.
Oh, no.
I might have broken everything. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no.
I break plenty of shit.
SSJ quality, baby. SSJ quality.
Yeah, it's nothing but quality. What the fuck you mean?
Seriously, dude?
It's back. What the fuck you mean? It was 1 second. It was because me and Alejandro were testing.
I think one in every 3 shirts should be misprinted to solidify how consistent SSJ is. The letters should be jumbled up. It's all in the wrong place. Is there a way we could do that? But yeah. I mean, this is just
they accidentally print the ass podcast.
That'd be amazing. Oh my god. In the future, that's gotta be in the future. If this ever keeps going, like if it goes long enough and we get big enough, I want to have like every a couple whatevers they get an ass shirt plus an SSJ shirt because they paid for it. But
Is the bot running now?
100%. Yes, the bot should be up and running. ! Merch.
Ooh.
What the Only here, right? Only here. Somehow, are there 2 instances? There has to be 2 instances. The bot.
How are you, dude?
Hey,
God damn it!
it works. Hey, it works. Don't worry about it. It worked. Look at that. Wonder Fiend got thanked for the bits.
Come back. I just don't understand.
Thank you, Wonder Fiend, for the bits. It worked. Hey. That's the chant. That's the chant to summon SSJ merch. That's the chant. We are selling merch. We are selling merch.
What a useless ass bot. No link. Just we are selling shirts. Or selling merch. You don't even know what merch it is. It's just merch. God damn it.
Thank you, Wonder Fiend, though. We do appreciate it. But yeah, we are getting into merch. I do and will say, if you are interested, go ahead and check it out and grab it.
Strix, I want you, whenever you upload this episode to YouTube, I want you to have like the chat edited on the side.
I can do that one. But welcome everybody back to SSJ Cast episode 11, where we all collectively came up with the idea for that ad.
No, I had no idea till literally an hour before the podcast.
Shaz, you literally sent me a text saying that you want the Krabby Patty.
I'm in that group chat. I'm in that group chat, dog. I'm in that group chat.
I didn't say shit.
We this morning I woke up and I'm like, damn. Well, I wonder what the group chat is saying.
That's
and
a good
Shaz
question.
was like, you know what? We should
merch.
Have SpongeBob intro be the merch thing.
And I sat here and I was like, and when I saw that, I was like, yo, Shaz has fire thumbnails on YouTube, so he has to have fire advertisement ideas. Period.
How the fuck does that work?
And me and Alejandro just like we set up, and he was like, boom, and Alejandro saw his vision.
Nah, you're not.
Because he painted it so picture.
No, you're not gonna segue like this. Ain't no way, bro.
But we want to thank you all for coming through. If you are interested in any of the merch, please check the link out either in the chat. The bot will post it.
Also, it's really just a test for us to not necessarily like know interest per se, but just know how everything works for the future if we want to do other stuff. So
correct. So yeah, I'm going to any chance to slurp merch in the future. I have a lot of ideas. We all have a lot of ideas. And I have, especially if, say, we go all the way around to like April 1st of next year, I would love to do a series of like joke shirts between Ass Podcast, Slurp, Like Yeast, a few different. We
We
got like a
make
year.
friends.
We got a year.
I'm
writing the notes right now.
We can do it. We can do it.
But we're working on a bunch of stuff. We just wanted to try it out to see how it all would go out. So if you want to, dope. If not, we understand. Wenderfiend is bleeding Twitch dry, and we will always appreciate him for it. But today, we have to actually get into the podcast because it has now been 16 minutes, and we've mentioned the word merch 200 times. Merch.
Mostly because of the chat, but
things happen. We're selling merch, by the way. But today's podcast is gonna be a little bit light on news. We're 3 weeks out from E3, and we're in the middle of an anime season. And
it's summer, dude.
And we're literally in May, so the summer blockbusters haven't come out. Game of Thrones ended last week. It's a really bad time for news.
It's rough.
It's really bad. So we are probably gonna be it'll be a little bit light, but we'll make a good show of it. But before we get into all that, I think the first thing that is necessary for the show to begin is for us to check out the amazing, my indisputably great co-hosts, one of a kind. I will always appreciate and love them. Let's check in first up with the man behind the merch, Alejandro Pupo.
Oh,
he's behind the video. Remember, he made the video.
Hey, it's your boy, Snapback and Pencil, back at it again. You know how it go, baby.
Yeah. So how was your week?
It was actually very uneventful. I was very bored this week. I'm working on a personal little project that I hope should be finished by the end of the month. If not, the beginning of next month, so like that first week. But I'm trying really hard to get it finished. It's going pretty well so far, and hopefully people enjoy it when it's finished.
I recommend checking out and following him on Twitter for more updates about that. Or at least following the SSJ Cast, because we will always support our homie with the pencil. I'm now picturing, like, when we get an intro, because it has to be some type of anime reference with Alejandro, he has to turn his hat around backwards like Ash when he grabs the pencil out.
Hey.
In the intro.
Don't give him my dog.
I'm telling you, dog, it'll work. Look. See, chat, this is why Shaz came up with the Krabby Patty idea.
Oh, no, the hell I didn't.
But yes. Okay, that's what's up. Check him out. It looks really good. I think it'll be really fun. And when y'all see this shit, I think you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll enjoy it. Now moving on to Shaz. My man Miles, aka Ultra, aka Pilot, aka getting the fucking mech Shaz, aka what's going on, Shaz? How's it going? How was your week? AKA Young
back
Symbiote.
in school. Young Symbiote, don't forget. Young Venom. Back in school, doing big things.
Young Topher.
Young Topher. Young Topher Grace. Gotta bring. There's so much lore. This is so stupid. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, just back in school. Yeah, just back in school, living my life. Gotta actually use my brains now. The two brain cells I have, they're in overdrive right now. I gotta, put more than fighting game motions inside of it somehow.
So what's your favorite class so far?
English one.
The one that I'll pass, You know how it is.
Oh my god.
But yeah. I mean it's good to be back to be able to do something again. Had a dry spell for a hot second, so still trying to get this jaw. We'll see. Got what the hell just happened?
I don't know what happened. Alejandro, you know what you're doing. The thing that makes your camera go black. Stop it.
To sneeze, and I don't want it to be on the mic.
So when he mutes his mic.
It's definitely tracking you, dog. The camera just don't shut off when you're not in frame, dog.
No. Whenever he mutes his mic, so when the government runs in his crib to snatch him, the mic just goes black. And then he unmutes it, and he's just gone.
It's gonna be the fucking Blade rape scene once the FBI opened up, bro. It's gonna just cut in and cut out.
I hate that we're on episode 11 of this goddamn podcast, and we already have way too much lore to keep up with.
Of course.
So, with that said, we are using Discord to record this podcast.
Sadly.
Unfortunate.
You know the funny part with all we're saying with that? Somehow this is still better than the problem Skype would have.
Of course it is. Skype was barely existed.
Hey, you know what? Would have been worse?
What?
Google Hangouts.
Yo, Ventrilo. And Google Hangouts. We might have to go to Google Hangouts one time for the one time. Yo, actually,
that's gonna be the
April Fool's Day show.
Oh no.
We use Google Hangouts. It breaks and we go to Skype. We have to look. We'll figure it out. We have ideas.
Webcam mic. I'll use.
I'm writing them down right
now. Do it. Hey, yo, that's amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and get in the news. In case it was not apparent, I haven't done shit this week. I'm just Strix. I stream. I'm not. Alejandro did graduate, so again, we're happy. He's moving on.
Dude, that was like 2 weeks ago, dog. Like,
that's what Shaz is following in his footsteps, becoming the young Peter Parker, aka the young Miles Morales, aka young Marvel, aka DC wannabe, aka where the DC movies at, aka. But we're gonna get into some movies. I think we'll start up with just some light news. In light of things coming to an end. Let's talk about some stuff you can watch in the near future. In the month of June, Netflix is going to be adding some stuff, and I just wanted to bring this up because I think it's a few pretty interesting. Yep. Like I think all of us collectively would probably say like these are pretty like you should definitely check these out.
Oh, free recommends.
So on June 5th, A Silent Voice is coming to Netflix. I haven't seen it yet. I remember the year it came out.
Yep.
This movie.
Yeah.
God, the amount of praise it got.
It is one of my favorite animes of all time. Not just anime, like top 5 up there.
Let them know.
Made me big cry. I was sad boy.
So that's definitely something to check out. On June 21st, we have Neon Genesis Evangelion as well as the end of Evangelion.
For those of you getting into Evangelion, I'm going to say this right quick right now. End of Evangelion is technically a replacement for the last 2 episodes of Evangelion. You can watch those last 2 episodes of Evangelion when you're watching the show, Neon Genesis. I will say though, I personally recommend you don't really bother with that and you just go straight to End of Evangelion because that's just a better conclusion overall. Evangelion fans will burn me on a stick forever saying this, but I just want to say you don't really need to watch those last 2 episodes. Just watch End of Evangelion instead.
Okay.
You can actually see a studio run out of money. That was interesting.
You can, and you're gonna see a lot of angry Evangelion fans
when they show you just literal. The stuff that before they animate, like the actual rough outlines, they use that instead. God. I mean, as an artistic thing, it actually works with Ava because Ava's like kind of surreal in a way, but it's like, no, we just ran out of money. Like,
also, for people who are getting into Evangelion for the first time, this show is fucking depressing.
It's weird. It's
It
weird
is
and depressing.
Depressing.
I'm not gonna disagree.
Yeah.
Get in the fucking mech, Shaz.
The first half is weird.
Rough.
The second half is just straight up depressing bullshit. So
it's like it's definitely
it's like a
dissection of like mecha anime.
Mm-hmm.
So like the reason why it works so well, I mean it would have worked regardless if it was like even the first mecha anime ever released, but it works so well because it like destroys like all the tropes of like mecha anime, where it's like, why would you have a 16-year-old hot-blooded kid in a like $1 billion mech sanctioned by the government? It's like, what would actually happen? It's like things don't go well at all usually. So I mean, if you appreciate mecha, you'll appreciate this. I'm sure if you watch mecha, you've already watched it. But
if you appreciate anime and storytelling,
yeah, I think even if you don't like mecha, this one's kind of weird because the nature of the mechs in question, but I still think people would like it. I think
100%. And like they said, it's a combination of weird and depressing. So it's just like an SSJ Cast episode, just spread out over a couple of, extra pieces of media.
It actually made money, and people remember the first season.
What first? Huh? What is this?
And there it is.
And there it is. And the last but not least, I bet like chat didn't know this, but we actually managed to get a special guest for this third one. We managed to get Miles Morales to come through and talk about the fact that Into the Spider-Verse is heading to Netflix on June 26th.
I'm still mad that I didn't actually get the Miles Spider-Verse J's when they were like impossible to get. They were like gone like second one. I'm not gonna lie. They were gone like second one. I tried to. I mean, if it wasn't obvious, I love Spider-Man a lot. He's my favorite superhero. And like this is like just nothing but fan service. It's everything I love about Spider-Man. It's the reason I love Gundam so much. Heike. It's because it's like.
Did we say what the news was?
No, not yet. This is just the
oh, okay.
Yeah. This is literally just like taking one concept and seeing just changing it a little bit to see what happens, and that's like different Spider-Man universes and stuff. It's crazy. Japanese Spider-Man inspired Power Rangers. Japanese Spider-Man had a giant mech. I don't know why, but he had it.
It was the issue.
It was lit. I loved it, but Leopardon for Spider-Verse 2. Do it, you fucking cowards. Japanese Spider-Man. No, they better.
That's not happening.
They gotta do it.
They already got anime Spider-Man. That's it.
I feel like they're gonna
trash. But no, it's aside from all that, from a technical and objective standpoint, the animation, the music choices, the themes, it's as good as you can possibly get. Just it's so good.
I just want to say
Spider-Verse is coming to Netflix.
Yeah, I said that at the end.
Did you?
Yeah. That was the joke about we have Miles Morales.
That's what we're talking about right now.
No, but that was wait, but I asked, did you guys say the news? And you were like, nah.
I didn't answer. I didn't understand the question.
I said Netflix. I literally said we're talking about Netflix.
Quality. But if you had any question about how good Spider-Verse is, I would legitimately say just look at Shazzyn. How overjoyed. As a Spider-Man fan, I don't think you get that out of a lot of people when it comes to comic book movies.
Oh, it's so good.
Where legitimately it's just joy and happiness and enjoyment that you can tell he got from seeing it.
I loved it, dude.
He probably will watch it again as soon as it gets Netflix.
Of course. The fuck?
If he doesn't already own the movie, he probably just watch it for no reason.
Oh, hell yeah, free.
But yeah, we want to just highlight those because I think, if you need something to help you get through these next few weeks. Because, man.
You say that, but they're coming out after this week, so.
They're actually all coming out by, right before E3. A Silent Voice is, literally 2 days before E3. You won't make it. It'll be worse. It'll be horrible.
Wait. Bro, my mind is literally taking a dump on me right now, right? Like when I tell you that I'm just extra stupid today. This is going to be a fun episode, though.
Okay. I guess we can move directly from that into anime news. Specifically, Blade of the Immortal anime is going to do a complete adaptation. I believe I have Blade of the Immortal. Didn't they do an adaptation?
You do?
Did they do an adaptation?
They did a live action movie adaptation.
What am I thinking of then?
Sword of the Stranger?
No, it's definitely not.
I don't know what you're thinking about. There's a lot of samurai anime.
Vagabond?
Definitely not Vagabond.
Veroni?
I mean, I know Blade of the Immortal, but maybe I'm just thinking of something. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure?
I don't know what
it's not.
So many samurai anime,
that's the why I said don't worry about it, because we will go down a rabbit hole and never get out, because we'll be like samurai. No, it's some it was one of those Crunchyroll, they give you a bunch of random ass anime boxes. I'd have to go.
Blade of the Immortal doesn't have an anime though.
That's why when y'all said that, I was like, I guess I'm wrong. I didn't disagree with you. I just accepted that I was wrong.
For those of you who don't know, Blade of the Immortal is a very infamous samurai manga with highly renowned across the anime community. So,
and it is getting a full adaptation.
Wait, didn't IG do an anime? I could be wrong.
oh shit, you're right. Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Alejandro, you know what I'm gonna claim on that one? Look at the studio that made it.
Yeah, it's IG.
The lore holds up. If it is production IG.
The consistency.
Oh my god. No, legitimately because I in the box I got a bunch of those DVDs. It was just like a bunch of those DVDs and I'd never watched them. But like I remembered, I was like, I'm pretty sure it was Blade of the Immortal. Like that sounds right.
It was one of those like super short, like one-time things.
It's 13 episodes and it has the worst reviews possible for an anime. So.
Oh, I didn't say it was good.
No.
I at no point said it was good. I did not watch it. I just was like, I mean, it's got for those wondering, it's got a 6.88 on.
Yeah, so don't watch it.
Forget you said if anything below a 7 is trash.
Yeah. Mao is weird, dude. That whole ranking number system makes no sense. It's like 8's pretty much perfect. It's like what? What happened to 9 and 10? Because they'll never get to 9 and 10. That's why.
No, there's like 5 anime with 9s on my.
Literally, and if you're wondering what 5, it's probably what the fuck.
What?
Okay.
Let me see.
Well, my anime.
Were you
list,
not expecting?
my anime list?
Up there,
My anime list. Please don't try to give me a virus.
Oh. Ooh.
It literally popped up with the like.
Actually,
your shit is corrupted.
There are 13 anime with 9s on my anime list, with the highest being Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood with a 9.20.
Now
I'm surprised Steins has a 9. That's interesting.
I was gonna make the joke that like, of all the anime that are out there, I bet you most of it is going to be the shit that everybody tells you to watch all the time.
Basically.
Pretty much.
It's like
the thing I'm surprised about the most is the fact that Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 has a 9.04 on my anime list.
It's higher than Clannad After Story.
Yep. And a Silent Voice. Silent Voice is literally right under there.
All right, look, I'm just saying,
Alejandro,
I want to like, if we gotta have something like that in the top, and 9, can we just bump up Haikyuu by like 5?
It's a book made in Abyss
there too.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, like it is just barely, and that's the thing. I just don't believe it, but we're getting Sword of the Stranger. You were saying it's in. Why is it so famous? What is
Sword of the Stranger? Blade of the Immortal, you mean?
Dog, they're all samurai shits. I'm gonna fuck it up. You already know this.
I just know it's a very infamous manga. I heard it's like its writing is impeccable. I've been meaning to check it out. I know there have omnibus being sold by what is it, Dark Horse? I think Dark Horse, is publishing like 2-in-1 omnibuses for the full manga. I don't know if they're finished. I think they're like halfway through the entire series, but no, I've just always heard great things about this, so I'm very interested to check it out. The website, like you said, it is doing a complete adaptation, and the website says that we are going to have more information to come in a later date. So right now, all we know is that
it exists.
Blade of the Immortal, it exists. It's getting an anime. We don't know the studio. We don't know anything about this, so
can't be worse than the last version. Please, I say that and then I think about Berserk.
Yeah, I was just.
I think about Berserk.
Hey man, all I know is that if Wit Studio has this, because we're seeing how they're going with Vinland Saga, and apparently they're pretty competent when it comes to seinen manga adaptations. So
hopefully,
I don't know.
Berserk is never gonna get a good adaptation, bro. Not in
my
lifetime.
Production IG again.
Not in my lifetime. It's not
I'm down. Like, just give everything to Production IG and let them flourish.
You say that, but
let them flourish.
The first adaptation was.
I mean, Sunrise could do it too.
Look, that's old production, all right.
Sunrise got money. They got about 13 different.
That's old production.
But Shaz, damn well Sunrise would never do a Blade of the Immortal anime.
I just
They really
realized that
took
Production
place.
Production IG is who worked on Attack on Titan season 3 part 2.
No, they didn't.
That's what's listed on my anime list.
It's which studio?
I don't know why it's listed as Production IG then.
Maybe they outsource some of the scenes. I don't
Studio
know.
Madhouse needs Berserk. If Studio Madhouse gets Berserk, I will fucking punch someone.
There's a
Fuck
bunch of shit.
Studio Madhouse.
Oh, producers.
They are not a good studio
They were
anymore.
producers on it. I see.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
producers, yeah.
Yeah, because Wit Studio is people who left Production IG, so a bunch of the same names are still there in terms of the animators, but
Makes
the way,
sense. They got connections.
we stand Production IG around here. Also,
do.
Evangelion is Production IG. With
I do like Production IG
you're
a
not
lot.
wrong.
I do like Production IG a lot.
They make the best sports anime.
Facts.
we did that last night. We
Does
literally
it
fell
count?
asleep.
Does it count if they're really the only ones making it though?
There have been others.
Trust
me.
Studios are making it.
They
but
do.
not good.
They do, but it's like it's not even like one sports anime. They're like basketball, volleyball, everything. Doesn't really matter.
They literally did an anime about running.
Baseball,
last-
just whatever, you know.
Man, I will just
That's
check
like saying other studios make mecha anime when Sunrise exists. It's like, yeah, they do, but
No, it's kind of like this
No.
Shaz, like, hey, like, you're making a mech anime. Okay. Oh, Sunrise is making a mech. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the money is it's not fair. Like it sucks because I do enjoy other mech anime, but it's like when you know this, like when your go-to studio is the standard, it's like
it's like their specialty, right?
yeah, that's what they make.
Like that's what the ultimately ends up being the big thing is like. It's so good, but look for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love it. Actually, that would be really interesting.
What?
Like, imagine if they gave Production IG the run back.
Well,
If they're like at this point, like, go ahead and try it now.
Because I gotta see, because Production IG they did the most recent Legend of the Galactic Heroes adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
They do all of Ghost in the Shell, and even though the writing hasn't been as amazing with Ghost in the Shell, the animation has still been really good. So Production IG, they know they have a competent like production when it comes to animation.
And
I don't doubt that for 1 second.
I think that a lot of places are starting to realize that,
Mm-hmm.
like, it goes back to that conversation we always have about anime. You either need to give it to like veteran creators,
Mm-hmm.
or you just got to give like some young dudes a hell of a lot of time. Because like when you pull the Netflix treatment, like you get greatness, and then when you pull like, hey, like y'all are known for putting out good quality shit. Here's some money and like just go in.
Yeah. I mean, it's
This Psychopaths 3. Yeah, that's also. Yeah.
it's so it just sucks, right? Because it's like at this point, it's like the go-to for everybody. It's not even just us. Like they're like, oh, Production IG made a sports anime.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a lock. Sunrise made a mech anime. I'm locked. Free. I don't even know what it is
Studio
yet.
Bones made an action anime.
I don't know what the fuck it is. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
It's cool to see. It's always cool to see, and I don't.
Yeah.
I just want to see Sword of the Stranger. It almost makes me want to pull out the DVDs and watch just to see, like what does it look like? Like I'll probably be in pain.
You mean Blade of the Immortal?
Dog, I'm done.
If
If y'all hadn't tried to fight me,
I'll give it to him because there's of the in both of them, and he's getting.
I just want to say, if y'all hadn't tried to fight me and tell me that the anime didn't
I didn't
exist,
fight you. I didn't know. I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
no, you're so fucking aggravated. Like the fact that I was legitimately ready to be like, well, I guess I'm just stupid again, and then Alejandro was like, oh wait, what? And I'm like,
I don't know.
Joy?
Because I completely all I know is that when I see an anime with a really bad score on my anime list, that's just like back of the fucking mind, not even considering.
That is like we said, light on news. That's pretty much the anime news for the week.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a season.
Yeah.
So
And I haven't been watching anything, so
you still got to give us that follow up post episode 3.
All I know is that no one's watching fucking One Punch Man right now, so that's all I know.
Like, imagine going back a few years and telling yourself that, like, hey, Like, One Punch Man Season 2 is in a state where most of the people watching anime don't even want to talk about it.
Yep.
And you would look at somebody and be like, you're stupid.
You
Like,
know what this feels like? This feels like the new season of Furikuri when it came out and nobody was talking about
shout
it.
out
basically.
to Master Cell, dog.
No, they were talking about it. They
Yeah,
just
shouts to Master.
hated it.
Master was the only person I knew that was
the only
like,
person I knew.
that was like,
I mean,
yeah, fully cool. I was like,
Because I think that's the same year the Gorillas came back, and he
Yeah.
was like, bro, that was his year.
Dog.
I think he went to their concerts too.
Yeah.
He was living it up. He was in love that year.
dog, it was
But
so.
I think I haven't watched his reaction, so I don't want to assume anything. But yeah, my boy Marcel's a trooper. I didn't
Yeah.
watch it. I didn't even know it came out till it finished. People were like, oh yeah, it finished. I'm
Dog.
like, what?
It's so
It
sad.
came out?
It's so sad. On
It's-
other sad news, though, Sonic got delayed. It's still probably not going to be
news.
good. No, it's still not.
No,
It's not-
no.
The movie
this
still
is-
exists.
This is amazing news.
It's
No, the news is good, but the movie still won't be good.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
now. And with that all said, I'm kind of mad it got pushed back to 2020. Me and Alejandro earlier
No, I'm happy.
watched the Dora the Explorer
Oh my god.
movie
Oh
trailer.
no, dude. Okay, we're not talking about that. That's some garbage.
And then, man, that's some special shit. Dog, I wanted both of those movies to come out in one year. That would.
I didn't watch the Dora trailer once because I already knew.
But you know what the best part about the end of it was? When Alejandro, we get through it and he's looking, and then they're like, but Danny Trejo isn't it? And he's like, what?
Machete. My boy Machete.
How? What is
Yo,
this?
yo, Swiper might get killed.
Diego, you're so thin.
Wait, who plays Dorian? Because I know people made a big deal about that when they announced it. I think. It was-
Yo, but the real atrocity of that is that Boots doesn't wear boots.
Yo, I saw the picture. I'm like, where the boots at?
Dora is being played by Isabella Molnar.
I feel like that was a thing where people were talking about her.
No.
Alejandro, do you know what's even worse? That I just looked up the Wikipedia page.
What?
You want to know what Danny Trejo's role is? Do you want to know what Danny Trejo's role is?
Is it Boots?
He's 100% the voice of Boots the Monkey.
Why? Nah. You good, bro. Oh, it's because she was Ava
Strix,
in
I'm gonna
Kingdom
need you
Hearts
to
back cover. That's why.
hush.
Wow, that's gross.
Nah, like, tell me how, like, there's any point that you would put Danny Trejo as the voice of Boots. Like,
Maybe
It
they
hurts.
maybe they heard Ryan Reynolds being Pikachu like a while back, and they're like, we gotta have Danny Trejo.
as far as we know, Boots doesn't talk, though.
Oh, what? He doesn't talk? That's even weirder. He should be definitely talking.
Who's voicing the map?
I don't see,
Motherfucker, you
I don't
lost
see-
again?
I don't see it.
There's no map.
Benicio del Toro is voicing Swiper
Yep.
the Fox.
That
Wait,
sounds kind of right,
why?
actually. That's-
Oh, by the way,
that's
so
about
for
right.
those, like, we're talking about this, but I should give some context. I would play the trailer. Paramount would probably
Copyright.
claim it.
Yep.
But
hang on, wait.
Dora's living with her parents. Her parents are going to go find the lost city of gold. So they send her to live with her cousin, Diego, and aunt and uncle. And so she goes to high school. That'll probably be the first, like, hour of the film. So that'll be fun watching.
High school?
Dog.
Yeah.
And they have the slapstick comedy.
Wait. Shaz, have you not seen this trailer yet?
Hold on.
No, hell
on.
no.
Hold on.
Now we have to.
Yep.
I
Now
know.
we
I
have
seen the
to.
poster and I saw
No.
people talking about him.
Now we
Nah.
have to.
Nope.
I'm good.
You ain't shit, is what you is.
You brought this upon yourself.
Alejandro had to watch it.
Put it so
Oh,
so Shaz can hear it too.
she really got the fit. Oh my goodness.
Oh wait, yeah. Chat. I'm gonna break everything very quickly. Give me but a moment.
Like,
Give me but a moment. I gotta change
Why
this
does she
so
look
that
like that?
that
You're asking too many questions.
Shaz can actually hear the trailer. So chat, it'll be very low for you, but Shaz should be able to hear it a little bit better. All right, let's. All right, we have nothing to talk about, chat, so this is fine.
I don't know about all this, dog.
I can't hear it. Can you hear it, Shaz?
No, I can't hear. It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Exploring is not a game.
There's no audio.
Why does she have to fit though?
It's whatever. It doesn't matter. The audio doesn't matter.
How are you not dead, bitch?
An ancient city made of parapata. My mother and I are gonna prove it.
And me. I'm sorry, sweetie.
What high schooler dresses like that? Unironically, to not look like if it was like
She grew up in the jungle, bro.
These parties called raves. The music sounds like this.
Who? Why? That doesn't answer my question.
Go get it. Be careful. That's what we want to say.
My favorite line.
Diego, you're so
Where she goes out of the
That's
jungle.
Diego, baby.
More energetic than I remember. Dora, this isn't the jungle. It's high school. It's low profile.
Just be yourself. Excuse me, I'm kind of stuck.
Bro, that bus snap.
Okay, what is this?
Oh. Where did you transfer from? The jungle.
The fact that she had to go through a metal detector makes me sad.
It's so bad.
That's a lot of high schools, actually.
I know, but that's people outside of America isn't gonna get that.
And the lost city of gold.
Damn.
All I see is jungle. I see 3 mercenaries.
Uh-huh.
Dora brought a knife on the
Dog, it's...
Yo, she about to cut somebody up, bro.
I were with your parents. You're all in danger.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna die out here.
There's no need to overreact.
Okay. This movie is gonna be pain. Who is this for?
She knows this monkey.
Yes.
Yo, I just saw Detective Pikachu. Boots looks like ass. He looks so bad.
What do you mean?
I have to keep going no matter what.
Why is this baby Tomb Raider?
Dog, Alejandro, exactly.
No, it was never. When was Dora Tomb Raider? Nah. I don't know about all that, dog. I'd rather. How come live action SpongeBob looks better than this? And 90% of the cast was CGI. I don't understand.
Oh,
Well,
man.
it's because SpongeBob actually has money. The SpongeBob money you're talking about, though. Come on.
What the fuck? Why did shit break, dog?
Oh my, Strix.
It broke the street. There we go. I fixed it. This is hard to watch, Strix. Legit, it was only because we were looking at movies coming out. Realized this was coming out, and it was like, you know, morbid curiosity that you should never indulge in.
I didn't even want to watch the trailer. Strix just, like, played it through the fucking Discord, and I couldn't, like...
I just want to hear what Danny Trejo sounds like now. Like, I want Boots to be, like, sitting there and just, yeah. Like, coming with the deepest of bass. Just...
Boots is like... Fucking...
It's gonna be gross.
Because what movie were we were talking about? Oh, because I'm going to go see Dark Phoenix. And so I just went down the road of ugly movies, right?
Why would you do this to yourself?
Because I think it's actually... I have the opinion that this is actually going to be good. I have the opinion that they're actually going to...
The trailers have done it no justice if it is.
Well, I've already said this. The writer of Dark Phoenix is the same, like... Or the director of Dark Phoenix wrote X-Men 3 last stand. So that's why they look like the same fucking movie.
Oh my god, that movie's the worst. I hate that movie. Bro.
You know you got to get it right on the second try.
Do you though?
Nah, we stand Sansa here, so we gotta go watch it. So that was Dora the Explorer. In case you really thought we were joking about a lack
Even though
of
we were
news.
talking about Sonic news.
But yeah, Sonic was delayed till February. Who the fuck cares?
What are we talking about? We know what the map is going to be. It's going to be a Google Maps or Bing ad.
That would be amazing if Clippy came back as the voice of the map.
Yo, Discord is dying for me.
Oh, it is 100%. But yeah, it is delayed till February 14th, 2020. There were also some rumors I saw on Twitter right before we started where people are saying that he actually has gloves now.
For me, dog.
Yep. Sonic will have gloves now. Sonic will have gloves now.
Is that a confirmed thing?
There's rumors that apparently he has gloves now.
I'm just happy that it got pushed back because I think that was the original topic. Because I said that because the redesign thing was in like a few days of them announcing showing the trailer, and people were like, I hope you give them more time to not only render it out from a like objective standpoint, but just like so that the like digital artists don't kill themselves trying to make a new Sonic like render. Because I imagine they're gonna redo the face, redo the hands, and then redo the legs as well because the proportions are weird. Which means that certain shots are probably gonna look weird unless they CGI and change like or adjust people's like eyes and stuff. Because he's probably gonna be shorter. I don't know. The proportions are weird on that, man.
Nah, it'll probably have to do reshoots as well. Be 100%. Like there'll probably be reshoots. I would bet money that there'll be reshoots.
I'm just happy that these animators do have time and they don't have to crunch everything last second. So,
hashtag by the way, no VFX artists were harmed in the making of this movie.
Shaz, you think you slick and all.
I just want to talk about it once we get to it, just because I think it's interesting. No.
All right, so the meta.
No, we ain't. Nah, you look. You don't own a Segway. God damn it. You're on a bike, you basic bitch.
Wow, Sage, I'm really getting angry today. That's crazy.
I ain't Sage Ham. Don't. I don't have the hair for that. Don't ever disrespect. But yeah, like, my thing is, like, there's not a whole lot to say about the Sonic movie. Like, it looked bad. Hopefully it looks better.
I mean, it's still going to be a bad
It's coming out during Black History Month.
Isn't it coming out
Valentine's Day,
dog, yo. All right, Tech, if you want to break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend.
Ain't nothing else that day, please.
If you really want to pick that fight, the perfect movie.
If you want to let a girl know you're not interested in them, god
or
damn,
take
him to
or
boy, take him to the fucking Sonic movie. Goodness gracious.
Now, I say that under one condition. If you have somebody just like that that you can just go and laugh at. Because that was my thing. Is like Dragon Ball Evolution, like you hate initially when you watch it. Once you learn to laugh at the movie,
that's different.
It becomes, you have to be able to go into this movie being like,
I
this
think
is going to be bad.
You're dating or whatever has to be invested into like Sonic at the very least for you to somehow get it unscathed. Like they have to like Sonic but unironically know its fault. Man, this is rough.
Even Discord's mad that we're talking shit on Sonic, dog.
What's happening?
Discord's so mad. Alejandro's just frozen. He's gone. There is no choice. What was I gonna say?
What the fuck?
Alejandro actually hasn't moved in like. Hey, there we go. We're back. It's all good.
Do I sound good auto-tune, bro?
Yo, T-Pain, what's going on? Nah, like the perfect way. The perfect way to know, like that could be the perfect test for your significant other. Take them to the Sonic movie, and if they like it, we're done.
Nah, my friends and I, like, as soon as that Sonic trailer came out, me and my friends were like, yeah, we're watching this.
That's fucking watch all right. See, like that was my issue, is that I was talking to Alejandro about the Dora movie, Shaz, and I was like, yo, if all of us were in Florida, because I've done that. It was the Christmas movie with all the different like holiday spirits, like the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, Jack Frost, all that shit. Like I went to that and I drank before I went to it, and it was like a fun ass experience because.
I bet.
But like you don't go into that movie being like you don't go to see Dora the Explorer in the City of Gold as an adult being sober unless you have a child. Like you have no reason. Go ahead.
Should we switch? Oh,
that's back.
Hey, no, it came back for a whole second and then it left again.
Now we're on yellow. Now we're back up to yellow quality.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
I was just asking if you guys want to go to like, oh nope, there's red.
Okay, this is what we're here. But what isn't here yet, and is coming in May 2021 is a live-action Akira movie directed by, I'm going to butcher your name, and I apologize.
Taika Waititi.
Thank you. And produced by Leonardo
DiCaprio.
I can pronounce Leonardo fucking DiCaprio, you bitch. Be like, yo, please pronounce a name. Will Smith. Oh, sorry, I didn't know how to say that. Thanks, bro.
Welcome to Earth.
Because you make my earthquake.
Oh my god. But I mean, like at this point, all right. Let me ask this question: has Akira entered? Like, has the West become enough weeb that Akira is now just one of those de facto things like Ghost in the Shell and all this other shit that is just gonna go kind of mainstream?
So. I think honestly, because anime is becoming way more mainstream, I think everybody has that one friend that's like, I have a friend that's like into football, whatever. I can ask him about stuff. I think everybody has like one or two anime friends, and it's like, yo, I'm not really into anime, but I want to get into anime, and it's like one of the default answers, like Akira, like Ghost in the Shell, like maybe even Ava, like for like each genre, maybe Cowboy Bebop, like certain, like just for animation. It doesn't have to be like necessarily a great story. It just has to like.
It's a good introduction.
Yeah, it's just because Akira's story makes no goddamn sense at all.
So the thing is, what I find funny about this is Taika Waititi. He in the interview leading up to this announcement, he was very adamant about he was a big Akira fan, and he's like, I don't even want to do an adaptation of the movie. I'm going to adapt the manga, like all 6 volumes and shit.
I don't know how he's gonna do that because the manga, even though people who follow the manga, the story is
multiple movies,
batshit insane.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
The movie.
Look, but that's what I want. Like, that's, to me, that is where like anime will 100% be able to go mainstream. Like, you need an unabashed anime fan to just say like, hey, like, you think anime is batshit insane. All right. I'm just
Toro with Pacific Rim.
Yeah, like, as much as people might want to talk shit about it, like, at the end of the day, like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, this is what. When you sit down and watch giant monsters fighting giant, when you see a fucking mech dragging a tanker down a Chinese street and fighting a big, you can't sit up here but be like, okay, like this is fucking awesome. Yeah. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, agreed.
Like,
and the great thing is Taika Waititi is a very competent. He's a very good director. Like Taika Waititi, for all of you who don't know, he is the director of Thor Ragnarok, and I know a bunch of other acclaimed movies he directed too. I mostly know him for Thor Ragnarok, but he's very well acclaimed. He knows his shit. He knows how to make movies, and the fact that he's also an anime fan for Akira, it has me excited for this adaptation.
Yeah,
it's a great time to be an anime fan in general. Like, it feels like we're just getting, like, I mean, gaming, anime, all that. Like, it is. We haven't hit the like renaissance. I still think of that, of where it is completely mainstream and everybody is just down for it. Because like, how did Battle Angel?
I think we're in the beginning stages of it.
How did Alita do?
It actually did decent, I think.
It did really good.
It did decent,
okay, I think if you can get away with something like Alita, I think that something like Akira.
Wasn't that also Guillermo del Toro?
No, that was Spielberg, wasn't it? Or am I tripping?
It was. I think it was Spielberg. Yeah.
I think like we're at a point now where, especially if they start like getting the Cowboy Bebops, and like if you start adapting stuff like that really well. I almost want to say like Akira, as like out there as it could be, might end up being like the Guardians of the Galaxy of anime movies. Where
I
like
think there's certain anime properties for sure that it's like really, I wouldn't say easy to adapt because I think adapting anything to anything is very hard. But like you said, Cowboy Bebop, it's like people can get behind that.
Space
show.
drama.
People understand it.
Alita, it's produced by James Cameron and directed by Robert Rodriguez, who did the Spy Kids movies.
That's who I was gonna joke.
No, that makes sense.
When you mentioned,
yeah, that makes sense for sure.
When we were talking about Dora, I was gonna make the joke like legit. Shout out to Mr. Rodriguez, just making his kids' dreams into movies and shit.
Yo,
and Adventure of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah,
and Sin City.
Yeah.
The same year he made Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Mm-hmm.
He also made Sin City.
You know, he also was famous because like I remember a lot of the stuff for those I feel like I heard somewhere that like a lot of this stuff for the Shark Boy and Lava Girl and all that type of movie was done like garage, like put together, like he did that shit on like no budget.
Yeah. Oh, that's why Machete and Spy Kids are canon to each other, because I'm pretty sure he made both of them, right? You said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
Because
Danny
in
Trejo
Spy
is
Kids, they have Uncle Machete.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, Danny Trejo is the original Spy Kids. For those who don't know, Spy Kids has a consistent universe. Don't worry about it. Weird. But yeah, Danny Trejo is, and also their dad is what's that famous dude? Played Zorro.
Antonio Banderas.
Yep, he is their dad.
Yes.
Which means he's the brother of.
Fuck, you said Zorro. Now I want to rewatch those movies. I remember watching
that.
Spy Kids was a lot of fun.
It actually was.
Zorro. I want to watch Zorro.
Well, Zorro too.
I mean, like I still remember like because in Spy Kids 3, Elijah Wood's in Spy Kids 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this was back when, like, because I remember being like Frodo.
Was in there for 3 minutes and then
yes,
he died.
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
That was the one
because
they were in the game, right?
Yes, and Elijah Wood was supposed to be the guy, but the last level was a trap, so he gets murdered immediately.
I didn't even think about it till like just now, but they definitely had a like virtual only anime waifu in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
they
did. Just
what's her name? It started with a D. It was like Deja or something like that.
Something like that, but yeah, it was like a purely digital.
I rewatched this movie like 2 months ago.
It was that shit was weird.
Like I don't know, I kind of go with it like
it's like there's so many weird references and stuff.
I guess like with movies like that, 100% I always go into it's the campy kid movie that it's the campy kid movie that you just kind of can fall into and have fun. You know not to take it serious. You know that it's like it's kid actors. They're having fun.
It wasn't that bad though. It really wasn't.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I rewatched it recently. It was pretty bad.
That's because
it was what, early 2000s. Oh shit.
It's fine for kids, but
when did it come? When did the first Spy Kids come out?
2001.
Now the first Spy Kids is also weird as fuck.
Yeah, that was because I was 6 years old when I watched that movie. I love that movie. That was one of the first movies I think that and Jurassic Park. When did Jurassic Park 3 come out?
That
I think it came out after that because I feel like I was young when Jurassic Park came out.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It came out in 2001. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I thought. I think Spy Kids and Jurassic Park were the first movies my grandparents took me to see when I moved over here to America. I was like, this is lit as fuck. I as a 6-year-old, I got to see giant ass just dinosaurs eating the fuck out of each other, and then I saw like Spy Kids, and I was
in heaven.
Dude, I loved.
I think the first movie I legitimately remember watching in theaters was Spider-Man 3.
I feel sorry for you, young Tommy Maguire.
I mean, he can only go up from there though.
Yeah, that's true. That might be why he has such like
that movie's
like
not that bad.
That might be why he has such like high taste because like the first thing he tasted was so shit that like
he's like
I can't descend that low again. I know it's not that bad. It's not as bad as like people remember it to be.
Yeah, I know. I actually recently watched this like a year or two ago.
Honestly, I'd rewatch Spider-Man 3 over Spider-Man 1.
I will still make the argument that like I will call them all shit because I don't care what you have to say about Spider-Man 2 and how good people think Spider-Man 2 is. It's nothing compared to Homecoming. Homecoming like is like like that whole thing we're talking about.
Know so many people who
real talk though. Okay, as a Spider-Man fan though, real talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's like those were the first ones I saw, and they'll always hold a special memory. That being said, 2 is lit because that entire fight scene and like everything about it is so memorable to me that I'm like, I gotta give 2 like 2's.
I think 2 is definitely the best of the movies.
It is.
2 is a good movie.
Yeah. Okay.
I just think when you look at Homecoming as a Spider-Man film, like the other shit doesn't. And that's not to say people are gonna crucify me, but it's like,
So here's the thing. I think the reason people praise Spider-Man 2 so much was because its writing was just, it was beyond what we ever expected a comic book movie to ever be.
Well, there is a level of shittiness associated with the 3 movies and Amazing Spider-Man because Spider-Man Homecoming completely relies on that. They're like, Dude, there's like 5 movies. Y'all know how Spider-Man became Spider-Man. We're not gonna do that. We're assuming everybody's smart. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't work if they're like, if there was like 16 Iron Man
I
movies
mean-
and we got a new Iron Man. It's like we're not gonna explain to you how Iron Man became Iron Man. You know it. It's because all those movies already exist.
I say that
to
with
me.
that's a lot of, to me, that is a lot of superhero movies at this point. Like,
Yeah.
hey, if we're gonna get an X-Men movie,
We're not gonna do it again. Yeah.
like
it's not gonna be the same.
I don't need, oh, Professor Charles Xavier finding a bunch of kids. Who's that gruff guy? Oh, that's Logan. Oh, there's Cyclops and there's Rogue. Oh wait, she has a love story where she can't touch people.
What they'll do is, because I don't remember the X-Men movies early on very well, but I think we'll probably follow a new student at an established,
And I
gifted
think that would be a
Xavier's
good way to
Mansion
do it.
thing already. Like Xavier, like Beast
Kitty
and
Pryde.
everybody will be teachers. Yeah, there'll be people already there, and it's like we're just following this character that's like new, but most people would know what's going on already. But it's like a story element that's like not too bad versus, like you said, it's like, here's Charles Xavier. He has mind powers. Ooh, and he's in
Honestly,
a wheelchair.
by this point, I care less about the new X-Men or whatever that's about to come from Marvel, and I care more about Marvel. Please give us a good fucking Fantastic Four movie, please.
I think Marvel will do it. I think, like, I'm at
I
this point,
know. I just
if you
want
can
it
do-
now.
and I want to say, like, because Grim is missing in chat, like, it is one of those things, like we said earlier. Spider-Man 2, you can always hold it up and say, for its time, I think it's unprecedented.
Oh,
and
without
for a long time,
Without a doubt.
it wasn't touched. The moment we start to get into the MCU and into, like, some of these more recent, like, superhero movies, I think what has to be realized is, like, both technology as well as, like, the understanding of how to make an amazing superhero movie.
I think it's also just the mainstream consciousness. It's like when Spider-Man 1 and 2 and 3 came out, they were just trying to let the mainstream audience like break into comics. You know what I mean? Like people knew comics existed, but like the road wasn't paved. Like nothing exists. It was the Wild West, right? Now we're literally after Endgame, and now we're getting Far From Home. It's like it's been 10 years. People completely understand it. People are loving it actually.
Yeah.
And so I think there has to be a level at the very beginning, right, where it's like they're not treating you like children, but they have to assume you don't know everything, because we know a lot of stuff about comics and anime stuff, but most people don't know that. Now that it's like more comic based stuff, they can throw stuff out there and people be like, yeah, I can get behind that.
Also,
Whatever.
I think the other thing is with Spider-Man, it's like, all right, so here's the thing: Spider-Man 2, it's a great movie. It did all that stuff, and people will argue that, oh, the Tobey Maguire and all that stuff, he's great. But the thing with Spider-Man Homecoming, for the people who aren't a big Tom Holland fan, is that Spider-Man is a fucking kid.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland, better than Andrew Garfield, better than Tobey Maguire, shows that he is a kid. He struggles, and especially with Infinity War, Endgame, and Homecoming, they emphasize the fact that he is just like a kid.
And I mean, I think you're hitting on, like, that's my thing. I think that's what puts Homecoming above the other Spider-Man movies.
Oh yeah.
Ultimately, because it's a Peter Parker film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that scene in Infinity War and Endgame would not be nearly as effective, like, if it was Tobey Maguire doing it.
It's the joke of, like, Tobey Maguire never really pulled off confident, arrogant, cocky Spider-Man.
Well,
Andrew Garfield was too model heavy of a fucking to be oh, you're a nerd. Oh.
There was literally a scene where he's like riding a skateboard in high school, and he's like too nervous to talk to Gwen, and I'm like, no one fucking believes that you're being bullied, dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
The two of them.
You're like 6'3". You got good hair. You got a chiseled jawline. And you there's no way, dude. And
then you compare to Homecoming, where it's like, all right, this character is way more believable as
all
being
his friends look like actual high schoolers.
Yeah,
Flat.
And
they're all awkward.
The way he's being bullied makes more sense. The way they present the bullying is like, oh yeah, he's just
they don't have model proportions. But being fair to not to cut you off, but being fair to like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, I think, especially for Toby, it's like back then, it's like you didn't know how seriously people would take you being a hero.
The campiness
but-
of like old comic book shit, right?
Yeah,
like,
well, because it's
kid
like
shit.
Willem Dafoe wanted to be Green Goblin. He's like, put me in Green Goblin the entire time. It's like,
Now that's goat shit right there.
he is goat,
Yeah.
but it's like now, it's like you're that character for life, right? Like we already had that with Logan, with like Hugh
Mhm.
Jackman for a long time, but it's like more and more actors are like, I mean, it's been a decade. It's been tested, and now people like understand that like, hey, people take this seriously, not just as a comic book movie, but as a franchise, as a movie. Like you can say, hey, I was in an Avengers movie, and people go, yo, you were in Avengers? Like, that's all. Like, you know what I mean? It's taken actually seriously. So I think that's probably why, because Toby might act that way in that movie, but I know he's a pretty decent actor. Same with Andrew.
Don't
I
tell
think-
don't tell him
I think the
shit,
big
by the
thing-
way. Don't tell him shit because he got the worst mouth ever.
Well,
Yeah.
for me, it's just because it's
Go
like
ahead.
it's hard to get into something where you don't know how people will take you, right? It's like,
Yeah.
wow, dude, you really acted your ass off in a fucking Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean? Versus now, it's like, yo, you acted your ass off in a Spider-Man movie. I think there's a big difference of like confidence in the franchise itself. I think as well.
I just find it funny because it's like people associate Tobey Maguire with Spider-Man, but I feel like the main reason people do that with Tobey but not with Andrew is because Andrew has been in enough movies to distinguish himself from not being just Spider-Man. Andrew was a really cool Spider-Man, but he Yeah.
was a terrible Peter Parker. I didn't believe
He
for a
was.
second he was Peter Parker.
But and here's the thing, Andrew, he can act his ass off in all the other movies he's done. He what was it? The Social Network. He was fantastic in that movie.
He did
And-
like a religious one, right, where he was in Japan or something.
Yeah. He did that where he was like Christian trying to spread Christianity in Japan.
Also, one thing I really love about watching the old Spider films is like you see like Tobey's like frame, like how he's built, and then you see how Spider-Man's built in the suit, and it's like, dog, how did you just get like 60 pounds of muscle just all across your ribs all of a sudden? Like what happened? Oh, I'm dying. Am I dying?
Yeah, that's why we started looking like this.
Oh no, I'm dying. Help!
No, it's really Alejandro just freezes. Like it's man, shout out to cable companies and the internet. Go watch some more superheroes. Go watch some shit that you just need to watch.
Help!
It's a lot of fun. We could talk. We could really get into it. I want to.
I just want to say I like the fact that seeing Spider-Man in Homecoming is like the same as actual, Tom Holland. It's like, oh, that frame makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to end. I stand Zendaya. All right. We will forever
Yes.
stand. We will
Yes.
forever stand.
Queen.
We will forever. It's
Which is funny because she's actually dating Spider-Man. She's dating Tom Holland.
that confirmed. That was last I heard. She denied it again. You keep saying that.
I didn't know that.
Hold on.
Are they
I keep
actually
saying-
dating,
I
or did they just have like fuck me eyes in like the promo shoots?
Okay, dog.
Look, they're like the same age as
They're 20.
Alejandro.
They're literally older than me.
Nah, but
They're
like that's my
20.
issue is like I don't feel like promo art should be the go-to. Like yo,
I didn't
they
say
looking
it was
like they
confirmed.
want to.
I'm just saying, is that where
Look,
people-
not everybody is Brad and Angelina. All right, it's not the set of Mr. and Mrs.
What you
Smith.
talking about Brangelina?
Tell that to Jennifer Gardner.
All right, me trying to look up something ended up running my internet, so I'm just
Bro, what is happening? Discord, please. Please. We only
So
have a
glad.
podcast once a week. It's
No,
only once a week, bro.
See, I'm glad because I don't know we're literally nothing happening this week.
Only once a week, dog. Yo, I don't know what quality this is.
I'm
This
gonna
has to be
call.
like-
I think
This has to be like 70.
I'm gonna call y'all on the other call. We're just gonna. Chat, I may have broken it. I'm gonna be real with you. I may have actually broken it. We're gonna see if this actually connects. I'm legitimately worried this won't connect at all. Well, back to this one. At least this one worked. At least this one. At least this one worked. At least this one worked. Lord. At least this one worked. Okay, bro.
Well, okay, we're living. You know what? I might just turn the camera off, bro. We need to save data, bro. We need to save bandwidth. Hold on.
Fuck. All right. So, everybody out there,
You were like, let's go to a different call.
and it didn't load. I was like,
It was the backup. We have literally a group call that never connects, and we have no idea fucking why. I don't get it, dude.
Oh no.
I'm trying to figure, like, there has to be a way to
I am
change the
so
setting.
happy nothing's happening this episode.
Dog, you know it had to happen eventually.
Oh man.
All right, really quickly, because
So
I want to
going
get,
back to Skype.
I want to get this. I want to get through. So Shaz put this in the doc. I wanted to bring it up. The Metabots. I think we referenced Metabots before. Is getting a mobile
I
game.
just wanted to put that in there because it's weird because they have nothing to show, so you don't have to show in like footage because it's just literally like screenshots and the devs talking about. You can show the design if you want, I guess, but it's weird for people to be like Metabots is dead, right? When it's like definitely alive in Japan. I think this was their 20th or 25th anniversary project. And it was such a weird thing because I think I followed them on Twitter, and when they announced it, dude, I'm dying again. Help.
I love how like Strix is probably loading something with the website.
I am legitimately like trying my best to just shut shit down on my computer.
Dude, what is
Like-
happening? Hold on, let me shut stuff down.
I literally have nothing open on my computer right now, dog. Like
I'm closing
I don't have
everything.
anything running in the background.
Dog, what is this?
Oh, let me.
Metabots, though, Chad.
Me turning off
That's a
my
sweet
Chrome
one.
is gonna help. The fuck? Ain't no way! I just can't. I can't survive like this.
All right, but
can't
yeah,
survive.
Metabots. What type? Did they say what type of game it's gonna be?
It's like a, I think like a turn-based type of thing. It's just whatever. They don't have a lot to show, so I can't really say objectively. I just thought it was an interesting thing because it's Metabots. I like the design of the new bot
Metabots.
or whatever.
Is that a new design? That reminds me of.
I'm
Starts
sure
with an
there's,
R. It starts with an R, and he was
Bookshow?
He was It reminds me of his
Yeah.
design.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
Where's my
again,
dude?
a lot of the Metabots fans in Japan when they announced this on Twitter were like, "Finally, I was waiting." And it's so weird. I guess when you have a property kind of this niche, you just take anything. But they were like, "Yo, give me this game now." It's so weird. That's all I want to say. I don't know. It was just so weird to me. It just hit like a nostalgia string because like no one talks about Metabots anymore in the West. Because why would you?
I mean,
But-
I
Metabots.
forgot that was even a thing.
It was. I need Metabots. I need Monster Rancher. There's a whole bunch of shit I could reference that I loved as a kid that just died. This was back
died in
when
the West, yeah.
this was back when Kids WB
Mhm.
Kids WB like had like mad control of Saturday mornings along with like Fox 5 Kids. Like this was back when they really were hitting.
Yeah. Well, like I remember like Foxbox and stuff too.
Cause man, we could get that's a whole different show. We might have to do like a nostalgia cast at one point where we just go back and look at maybe in a like pretty like fundamentally big
For
year.
sure. I think Metabots again. It's so weird to see like properties that aren't big in the West, but it's big somewhere else. You know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
So my question is, if we do the nostalgia cast, can we look back at season 1?
Maybe.
of
Maybe that's the like secret.
Metabots.
No,
Metabots
of Lounge.
of what?
Lounge.
I don't
What?
know what that is.
The season 0, the secret season.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yu-Gi-Oh season 0.
Oh, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0.
You can't mention that yet. We haven't gotten the merch for that yet. But on another topic,
Yeah.
the only actual piece of news that isn't just the announcement of something coming in the future.
Yep.
Well,
Technically,
Neo 2 has got a gameplay trailer as well as a full-on release date. I will try to pull the trailer up. I mean, and an alpha. I have not gotten my. I have not gotten my hands on the alpha yet. I haven't gotten my hands on the alpha yet.
is it out? I thought it was coming out later.
It is no. It'll show at the end of the trailer, but
Okay.
100%, like it started like today or yesterday.
Really? I
Yes.
thought it was coming out
It goes-
on 27th or something.
It goes till June. through
That's
June.
okay. That's nice at least. I'll get to check it out tomorrow or something.
That's if you can access it. I believe you have to be invited.
Oh, what? No.
Are you sure?
It's a demo.
Are you sure?
I will check right now.
Neo 2. So the gameplay looks pretty good. Obviously, it looks entertaining and all. It looks like it's fire.
It looks like Neo, except the
Nah, I feel like they definitely it looks visually
the
like
graphics
Neo.
are a bit shinier. It looks a bit shinier.
But I feel like
We'll give it that.
gameplay wise, maybe I just didn't play enough Neo.
It didn't make it faster.
They're adding a lot more to the combat.
Yeah.
There are a few new things that I'm definitely seeing.
Yeah.
Especially the Awakenings. That definitely looks different. But overall, it honestly just looks like Neo, which is a game I do need to fucking finish.
I didn't. Yeah, I played like a little bit of that game.
Same. It was a fun game while I played it, though.
Unleash your darkness, and obviously the big
bad
call
that-
of this one is you can turn into an Oni yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, like a lot of people forgot about the game because all they did was announce it at last year's E3 and then like didn't say shit for months.
Yeah.
What, Neo 2 or Neo 1?
Neo 2. Like they literally just like had a screen that popped up and was like, oh yeah, Neo 2 is a thing.
Oh yeah, actually, something interesting. I think they showed like a little bit of a female protagonist there too, which is completely different.
So I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not.
Oh, it is on the 20. Okay,
I don't know if I'm allowed
go
to say it or not. But because the demo's out and people can see it, I'm assuming so. You make your character. You create a character.
Really?
In the demo, let me pull because I can't because it'll change it. But specifically, I have a source that has played the demo. That I believe 3 levels. You create a character, and yeah, like they're recommending that I play the game. So.
Oh, it is closed.
And it is a reliable source, reliable enough to where when they generally tell me to play a game, I play it. So, I will pass it. I'll pass that information on. Go play the fucking game.
Omega Thunk.
I need to finish the original. I will if I can get into it. I don't know. Apparently it is closed. I don't.
That's why I was. I it's unfortunate, my bro.
I'm pretty sure. Wait, I actually didn't even check my email.
I don't know. Was there a sign up on the?
I have no clue. I only know that.
Because usually when you do something like this, it's like, okay, sign up, but I didn't see a sign up at all.
Yeah.
So that's why
I feel like they sent keys to some people, but not everybody. So.
Because I know my friend, he's playing the game later, and like I don't.
Hey, if you game share with somebody, that's all I.
Discord sucks.
This is ridiculous, dog. Discord is actually like, yo, y'all have no news. Why the fuck are y'all doing a show this week?
It's only once a week, you bastard.
No, it's not even that. This is the first time in 11 episodes we've actually had like trash connection.
Noticeable internet issues.
Yeah, like for the most part, like it might dip, but it never gets this low. But that's all the news. So we're gonna chill and chat, and chat if y'all, I guess, if they want to bring up anything, since we have like 15, 20, 30 minutes to fill.
Yeah, there was like no link to the video for like a sign up or anything, so it's like, well,
because I saw people on Twitter posting emails of like, welcome to Neo 2. Was there originally a sign up for Neo 2?
I thought it was gonna be like Neo 1, because Neo 1 was just, oh yeah, play the demo.
I could have sworn I signed up for some type of beta or something.
I know we signed up for Code Vein and for Blaze Blue, and those betas come out. I think they start
Soon.
next week.
It should be
yeah.
sometime relatively soon.
I think Blaze Blue is like next week.
All right, looking at Polygon Alpha on Twitter, Team Ninja said the closed alpha is designed to help gather feedback for development. It will be limited to a small pool. There are no plans to expand it at the moment, but keep an eye on our channels for more information. So they'll probably have another demo as we approach closer to the actual release date.
Hopefully,
obviously, I think, like, once again, I'm gonna reiterate this because I think we kind of hit on it briefly, but being straight, like, it's gonna be super light until we get to E3.
Mm-hmm.
E3 E3 is Well, like this is all set up for E3. We know that at the PlayStation, whatever PlayStation is gonna do, because when's PlayStation State of Play for June?
Is that a thing? They're doing a state of play?
I thought they were doing one each month.
Is it?
I didn't know about that.
Because like this month or whatever, that's when they
This month was
talked
the
about
Final Fantasy
Iceborne
one.
and Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that happened on the 9th. Didn't they have one in April too? Didn't they start them in April?
I don't fucking know though.
What?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up. Or is it you wouldn't have such a gap with no content if you paid attention to indie games? I mean, if they were good indie games. I'm gonna get in trouble. It's a joke, chat. Nah, I'm gonna get
That's
dragged on
gross.
Twitter because I'm making fun
That's
of indie
gross.
devs. It's a joke. There are plenty of good indie games out there.
Wait.
Fucking fuck. Yeah, I think people keep thinking that Sony's not gonna be at E3 at all, and I'm of the opinion that they're going to do what Nintendo normally does, which is
So
like their own thing.
So the Call of Duty coming out this year.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I forget. We didn't
Go
even
ahead.
talk about that. That's crazy.
Because it just announced and it's stupid.
So the Call of Duty coming out this year is called Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
I think that's fine. Like, I know. So here's the issue. Like, let's talk
No,
about
that's stupid. No,
this.
what? No,
this.
that's
This.
stupid.
No, it's no more stupid than the Xbox One. Side note.
the Xbox.
The Xbox One X. Xbox.
Yeah, the Xbox.
Okay, Strix. Nobody knows Call of Duty Modern Warfare as Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
They
but, like-
just call it Modern Warfare.
But that's my issue is that the word modern warfare is relative, right? It's been like a decade since that fucking game came out.
But why would you? No, it's not a remake, actually, Aubrey. It's
I believe they're supposedly bringing Modern Warfare 2 to. I think they're supposed to be doing that this year with it.
That's gonna be so
Modern
weird for some
Warfare
people.
was already remade.
Yeah, but
Like-
I'm saying they're supposed to be doing 2 this
No,
year.
I'm talking to Aubrey. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so weird.
I mean,
So it's just
I'm
the new Call of Duty game.
Golly.
I get why it's a stupid name. Oh, Modern Warfare was actually the one that came out in 2011. No, that's Modern Warfare
Yeah.
3. God, I'm
Also-
whatever. No, but like like that brings up the idea. Like we had Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare,
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2, and then Modern Warfare 3, and like it's the idea they dropped the number scheme, and I get why it's a stupid name.
Isn't Call of Duty? Isn't Modern Warfare 2 technically like Call of Duty 7 or something?
Let me see. 4.
I don't.
Then when did Modern Warfare 2 came out?
Also, it's being made by a different studio. This year,
Because
right?
it was
World at
Modern
War?
Warfare, then World at War.
That's
and then-
5, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8, and like it's
Yeah. Also, apparently Treyarch is also working on this new Call of Duty, even
Yeah,
though
'cause
they
they
just
weren't-
did last year's.
Because the sales for the last game weren't great or whatever.
Well, no, because apparently, I think the other studio needs more time for what they're working on or something. I don't know. Something-
Maybe it'll be an actual new engine and something different from Call of Duty. It won't. It won't.
Their new engine has been pretty good, honestly.
Like, yeah, Call of Duty I don't get into because at this point, like, I've broken
Well,
myself
actually,
out of the Call of Duty.
It's a
cycle.
different engine depending on the studio because the Sledgehammer engine is not the same as the Black Ops engine.
That is
Sledgehammer-
correct.
Actually, if anything, Sledgehammer has, I think, the prettier games when it comes
Yeah.
to actually looking at the. Yeah, so.
On other news, I don't know how into it y'all are. Tech news.
Okay.
Without directly talking about, there recently we in the U.S. The recent trade war that's been going on with China here in the U.S. has led to Huawei getting put on a blacklist, and that means Google had to come out and say that they are pulling Android support and updates for all Huawei and in turn Honor phones. They have 90 days, so at the end of August, all Huawei and Honor projects will no longer be getting Google updates or Android updates.
I mean, for most people,
Jesus.
that won't mean anything. But it's. I mean, it's still a big deal when you just can't support like an entire section of
And
a phone company.
what's even worse to me about it
Jesus.
is Huawei's response was like, hey, we understand what's going on with our partners. We respect them. We love them. And we're sorry that politics basically fucked this up. Like, they're blaming the political climate as opposed to blaming any of their partners. Like, Google pretty much saying, like, hey, yeah, we can't support your phones anymore.
Yeah, that's just wild.
It was an insane week. And, I mean, there are rumors that they're working on their own operating system, their own app store that may be able to run Android apps. But again, that would all need to come out by August of this year.
Do you think so? As long as Google doesn't sell it here, they can still support them.
No.
No, I'm saying they can still support them making the operating system, right? Not like Google. Google can't be used on their operating system. Or whatever, they can make their own, right? Like the people. I'm sure in the back.
They could take stock Android.
Yeah.
And they could make, like, they've already been working on an operating system.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is a thing. With that said, like, because there's also talk of they can no longer get processors from Intel or ARM. Like, they have to move 90% of their production. And then we're talking about apps of, like, major apps. NKBHD put up a video about this. From what I remember, like, I'm looking.
Is that his newest video? Is that what he was going to talk about?
Him as well as Lou Later. Unbox Therapy has a podcast where he also talked about it for like a bunch of minutes. Like, I would recommend, if you are at all into this stuff, take a look at what's going on.
I might need to check.
I'm gonna be super curious as to how much it's gonna cost in R&D to do this, because they have to make
apparently,
I would assume an entirely new team for just operating system development and support.
Apparently, though, they've been planning for it. Apparently, they've been planning for it. Like, they recognize that this was a possibility.
That's good.
And they have been kind of busting their ass. Shout out to MKBHD. I'm going to be pulling footage from here. I'm ignoring even what I just said. Shout out to the entire tech community on YouTube.
That shit's wild.
But to give an idea for chat to see what it means when you cannot get the Google Play Store on your phone. Just to give you an idea of some of the apps, if you can't run Android apps, that you would lose access to.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like,
at least they get TikTok.
Now, can you download an APK and will it work?
So that's what people are expecting. There's rumors that Huawei is setting up a Play Store and an operating system where you can run Android apps. So you use one of the other stores to get a hold of the APK. Yeah. Google isn't providing you the APK.
Yeah, because that's what I do with a lot of overseas video games. You can just, like, I think it's an app called CoApp or whatever. I think a lot of people know about it if you've ever played any overseas stuff that's not over here. It's like,
so you're torrenting video games on your phone?
That's not what I said. But literally, it's like they have a bunch of apps that's like updated from like stuff from overseas. It's stuff that, you know, it may be not available on the Google Play Store. It's not illegal. It's just the US version doesn't support it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Wait, what's up with ZTE? What?
So there's a bunch of, like, it's caused a lot of craziness. So Canada is a pretty big Huawei fan, but even beyond that, like with the launch of 5G in the UK, they were partnering with some of the big carriers over there. One of the carriers basically said they're like pulling like 80%, like they're no longer using their phones.
Damn.
And like that would be like a Verizon or a T-Mobile being like, "Hey, we're no longer using your products for our 5G launch." That is
that's
it's one of those things that to me is just insane.
That sucks.
It kind of sucks because Huawei's a pretty good brand in terms of the quality of their phones.
If I'm being Huawei to me has for the last few years managed to reach flagship levels.
Yeah, they're fucking great ass phones.
Have we heard of Observation?
No.
Heard of it? Do not know much about it. It's on the Epic Game Store, so I'm happy about that one.
Oh, is it? Oh, I haven't heard anything about it.
You as soon as you say Epic Game Store, I'm like,
I know.
I mean, it's gonna happen up to a point. I mean, I think we talked about this before. Where it's like it's the competing company, you know.
I just love because Shaz, have you checked out the most recent episode of Best Rank of the Cast?
Mm-mm. Oh wait, no, yes I have, yeah.
Where Pat was trying to buy from a sale on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, the issue was the Epic Game Store doesn't have a cart, so he bought 5 individual games or whatever from like $5 to $50, I believe, and it flagged his account as fraudulent.
And also, a lot of the games weren't technically supposed to be on sale, and prices were being changed all over the
Well,
place.
we'll,
and
we'll
people
talk.
were
We'll
like,
talk. I'm
Oh,
so
this
Yeah.
game. No,
this
no,
observation.
I have seen this. Yeah, yeah. It looks
I
so
don't know.
good.
I've never seen this. I don't know
It
what
looks
this
super
is.
cool.
Is this indie or?
Yes.
It definitely gives. Isn't it Devolver Digital? Am I tripping?
Yes. But the thing with the Epic Games launch is it was like a flat across their entire store. So there were games that are like new releases that you could pre-order on sale. And the only option with how the store is currently set up was for those devs to pull their game from the store. Which is really weird, and obviously they're kind of now speaking to.
Ooh, that's a cool ass shot. Okay.
I know
Yeah,
it's
it
growing
definitely is.
pains with Epic
Definitely is.
Game Store, but come on, y'all. Come on.
That looks cool.
Please. You should have had a cart at a, like, buying,
What games were pulled? I remember Bloodlines was pulled.
Yep.
Bloodlines was one of the games that was pulled. Let me look up a list.
I think the new Borderlands.
Yep.
Was it? Oh,
Yep.
golly.
Um,
That just sucks all around. Like, come on, man.
what was it? Hades? Was Hades pulled or?
It might
No.
have been. I'm trying to remember
No.
all the stuff.
I saw people. I know that
Yeah.
game. People are loving that game, dude.
Oh, okay. Observation's coming on PS4 too. I guess I'll take it up then.
Publishers pulled their game from the Epic Games Store. So earlier today, Epic once again took a page from Steam's book and announced a mega sale. This includes both a percentage discounts and an additional 10 off of every game priced at $14.99 and higher on the store. It was supposed to be smooth. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 disappeared first, and a lot of people didn't realize why, but it was a flat thing. So people technically could get 10% off, so that'd be $6. Plus another 10, so you get $15 off a game that hasn't come out yet. And of
Not
course,
bad.
Epic was going to necessarily foot the bill, but the devs also didn't necessarily
You get the
want that. So I know there were only
I think
Oxygen not included was removed as well. I'm trying to look at all of them.
Aubrey mentioned this, but I think that is the case where they're not on the store technically.
Yeah.
They're you just can't purchase them, but they're technically still on Epic. So if you purchase those games and in the time that they were still
I'm guessing they
still
didn't.
have 'em.
Yeah, they got to work this out with their devs
Yeah.
for their actual cut because, like, you can't lower the cut of the develop. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Well, yeah, and like a lot of people are speculating because what that does is that means that
God.
like because then you can't really match it on Steam, right? It's already bad
Yeah.
enough on Steam, but you can't match it. I believe Bastion, Pyre, and you said Hades. Hades was, I believe, on there as well.
Yeah. I know
Like
something happened with Hades on Epic.
they are essentially like having to go in, and this is the one problem that I think with the Epic Game Store, as popular as the Epic Game Store is, like it's at that weird place that much like Fortnite, it has gotten too popular too fast almost, where there's a lot of stuff and a lot of infrastructure that just isn't in place for the store.
Yeah. That's. But I mean, that's also. It's also. I mean, I get the reason why they did it because they used Fortnite as leverage. The good thing is they got a lot of people to hop on their launch
And-
because the biggest game in the world, arguably right now, is being played on there. The bad thing is they had a bunch of people come in because the biggest game in the world. You know what I mean? Like it can't keep up.
I think they also have forced Steam to kind of look at how they operate. Like, which, regardless of how you like Epic, whether you like Fortnite, competition will never be a bad thing in any space that exists.
Oh yeah.
Like, legitimately, a situation as much because I don't think we've talked about this proper on the stream about Epic's willingness to throw money at devs for exclusivity rights to publish their game. I guess the weird thing is that like we've looked at Steam for so long that we stopped looking at people like Origin, we stopped looking at people like Ubisoft that do it already. And when another platform that's supposed to be open does it, it becomes a problem. Like it's just, but they're helping the devs out ultimately. They're like, hey, we'll give you a bunch of money. I don't want it to exist. There's a lot of problems why it's trash.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we'll get to a word where it's console wars, right?
I think the reason why Epic's interesting because when it came to like Origin, it was like just EA games, and then Ubisoft is Ubisoft games, but it's like with Epic, they're like, no, we're getting everybody. We want to be the different like the second general store, you know what I mean, like Steam. Valve doesn't make games anymore, but they have a ton of games on there. I get it. It just kind of sucks all around because it is growing pains, but it's just God. It's weird. Oh, hell!
What's up? Oh yeah, we're breaking down. All right, I think we're gonna call it here. We can because Epic will probably get an exclusive right to some game and people will be mad, and we can talk about this a lot more next week.
Yeah.
I'm done with Discord and this trash. Of course,
Yeah.
Discord would go back up to green the moment I say we're done. Fuck you.
As soon
Fuck
as
you.
I'm like, please don't go.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do a shout out to Alejandro. Go ahead and let the people know who you are and what you're doing.
It's your boy, Snapback and Pencil. Out here, we doing arts. We're doing our thing. I got things planned, but hey, man, remember, it's your boy.
I'm glad it freeze framed right there. I'm so happy it freeze framed right there. Shaz, I know it's hard. Can the people hear? Try it. Just try it.
It's
Nah.
me, Small Dick Larry. People hear that? I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm on Twitter maybe. Oh, yeah, this is some SSJ quality. This is trash.
Strix. Okay, that just ended.
All right, and yeah, this is Strix. We love you. We appreciate you.
This shit
I'm-
sucks.
Today we're gonna have an extended ending. So I will go ahead and run the thing. If you were not here for the beginning, we do have an announcement. Please check out our merch. I will put the link in the chat in 1 second. But here's the announcement video. I hope that you all have a great evening, and we will see you on the next fucking SSJ Cast. I'm done. I'm done. We're done. We're out.